Welcome back to the channel. This is The Strongest Root. I'm David Rouse-Schuber. Today we're going to plant some okra. We're going to review what's going on in the garden. We've planted potatoes. We've got all kinds of things growing great. But got to show you what happened over the week. It was absolutely horrible. We had a big storm come through. Been getting a lot of rain, but we got hail. I'm going to show you what that happened to the garden. Got some plants that got popped pretty good. Onions got flattened a little bit, so we'll show you that. My garden, because of the hugelkultur, the way I've got it layered, is sinking more, which is to be expected, but with all the extra rain, you'll see what's going on. It has really compressed a lot more, which is a good thing in the long run, but right now I'm in the middle of growing season and could be a little problematic, so I didn't think that through all the way. So, you know, you make mistakes when you're doing things. That's how you learn, and that's the beauty of having your own garden. So since the storm, you can see the plants took a little bit of a beating there. Some of the pepper plants lost some leaves. Not too bad though. Amazingly, bud, look at that pepper plant. Already got some growth on it. Got a jalapeno. We'll get that guy off there here in a little bit. He's getting pretty big. But you can see the compression of the soil from the garden has gotten a lot, gone down quite a bit. You can even see where some of my frames that brace my garden to the house are starting to show through. Strawberries are looking good, got some blooms on them. And then you can see here now more compression of the soil around the worm farms. So anyway, we'll backfill that. Lettuce took a little bit of a beating. So anyway, we'll get all that fixed and plant some more lettuce in here today. That's one of the goals, along with getting the okra back in and going. So we'll go take a look at the other raised beds real quick. Okay, so this raised bed's doing pretty good. Tomatoes are doing great. We're going to prune those here in a little bit. I'll show you what I'm going to do on those. My snow peas are really starting to come along, growing really big. So excited about those. Onions are doing phenomenal. They're getting bigger by the day. But one of the things I'm kind of concerned about is my garlic. Doesn't seem to be taking hold very well. Actually, some of it seems to be getting smaller, kind of dying off. I'm hoping that the temperature change will fix that. But for the most part, it's going good. But if you look around the edge of the raised bed here, you can see the compression of the soil from all the rain. So that used to be almost to the top. Now it's kind of settled down another inch or two. So not a bad thing. We'll fix that next year. So this is the area where I wanted to put my okra. It's going to be on this side of the worm farm. I'm eventually going to put some plants in here, some flowers. We'll do an episode on that and talk about why for cross-pollination. But because of all the compression from the rain, my gutters were full. So I got to put some gutter guards up there. But because the gutters got full of leaves from our neighbor's trees, it overflowed. So it pressed this. So I'm going to turn this real quick. And then we're going to get these okras in the ground. I've been growing these from seed. They're looking really good. This guy's a little falling off a little bit. I'm hoping we can save him, but I wanted to have at least 3. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 plants in here. One obviously is doing really, really good. So we'll get them in the ground and look forward to having some okra, man. These things are really looking good and growing well. Okay, so I've laid out my okra plants where they're going to go. In a previous video, we talked about vermicomposting or creating your own worm castings in the garden. We do this, keep them going all the time. It's really a great little hobby to have. The worms are growing so good and doing really well. Because all this is new soil, new dirt, with all the leaves and everything in it, it doesn't have any worms in it. So I want to start incorporating the worms into the garden themselves. Theoretically, they're supposed to leave the worm farm area and go out naturally. Again, I can't prove that they do or don't, but I'm going to help that along. But I'm going to use my own worm castings now to fertilize each of these okras. So that's what's really, really great about this method. So simply just going to go ahead and dig me a hole here. I'm going to get this guy down a little deeper. So get down there kind of deep. And then I'm going to take my own worm castings. Hopefully get a couple worms in there too. I'm going to put that in the bottom of the hole. Okay, so it's got its own really great fertilizer, which is awesome. Then we're going to get this guy down in there. I'll put him in a little deep, give him a little extra support. And that's it. So we're going to do the other 4 that way. And it's going to be awesome. Having your own worm castings down in the bottom, your own natural fertilizer, is really, really going to help them grow and get them off to a great start this year. So this is my lettuce area. In previous episodes, I had put seed in here and tried to grow everything from seed. I seem to be failing miserably at that. So what I did is inside in my greenhouse, I started growing my own lettuce. So I want to get these in the ground. These I had put in a few weeks ago. They were doing real good until the storm, and you can see where they got kind of beat up from the storm here. So hopefully they'll bounce back. We're supposed to have some pretty good sun, some pretty good temperatures this week. So I'm going to turn this over and then get these in the ground. So hopefully we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And some of these I can split. They're probably 3 or 4 per cell. So I'll split some of those off and do individuals and kind of fill this whole area for lettuce. So also on this side of the garden down here, we have another worm farm. I just got a bunch of compost out of there. And as you can see, big old worms. So it's doing really, really good. The soil looks amazing. I'm going to blend that in here so that would have its own natural fertilizer before I put the plants in. So we're just going to kind of dump it in. All right. And then I'm going to turn that in. And there's a bunch of worms in there, which is going to be awesome. They'll do their thing in here and make for really, really healthy soil. And well, look at the size of that guy. That's another big one. Wow, it's cool. Okay, so let's get this lettuce in the ground. Okay, so after I split those off, I found that I had a lot more than I realized. So I went all the way down to the worm farm, put an extra kale plant in, picked that up the other day. So this should go great. They've all got their individual irrigation, so they'll self-water, take care of themselves while I'm not here. And, hopefully we'll be harvesting lettuce on a regular basis here in about another couple weeks. So looking forward to it. Okay, so one of the last things we're going to do today is we're going to do some pruning. I like to prune the bottom part of the tomato plants. It makes for a healthier plant. Get the leaves off the soil so there's no fungus or mildew or anything like that can create. You can see this plant is really, really doing well. We've had it in the ground now first week of February, so we're first week of March, so 4 weeks, 5 weeks. So it's going really good. So I'm just going to reach down here and just take off a few of these leaves. All right, and that's it. Just clean it up. I want to try to get the plant to grow taller, faster, and put all of its effort into coming up. You can see this limb here is already getting kind of bad, so I'm going to take that off. And then while we're in here, we're going to look for little suckers. Those are little side shoots that just eats up energy from the plant. So there's one right there. So we're going to take that out. And one right there. All right, so we'll get that out of there. And we got this little guy right there. Oh, there's one more. Okay, so that's it. Just kind of cleaning them up as much as we can, get them to grow straight up, put all their effort into growing. And you can see it's already starting to lean towards the trellis, which is great because our sun sets over here. So they're naturally going towards the sun, which is really awesome. So should make for a really great tomato plant. So that's it for today. I hope you got a lot out of this. I'm going to continue to do some pruning around the garden. Work on my strawberries are starting to come up. We're starting to get some blooms. So we're going to have some early strawberries, which is awesome. So anyway, if you like what you're seeing, subscribe, like, tell your friends about it, share it. I sure appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one.